moving forward to my second item that I will be addressing on the mayor's comments. This has to do with the Coral Gables Country Club, and I want to read a very brief statement in regards to this issue. The termination of the lease with Coral Grand, the operators of the Coral Gables Country Club, was a point of discussion at my recent town hall. And I would like to set the record straight, since there have been many misrepresentations and falsehoods put forth by the current tenant. As you're aware, in March of this year, the current tenant at the Coral Gables Country Club was notified that the city would not renew their lease because they had been in default for failure to pay both base and percentage rent. It is important to note that this lease did not have a termination for convenience clause that would allow the city to terminate the lease for the maintenance deficiencies, damages, and other issues that the city has found at the property. Among these are the following: unpermitted work, property damage not reported to the insurance, resident complaints, failure to return deposits to nonprofits and schools for events scheduled during COVID-19, additional for-profit companies registered at the property without the city's authorization. The lease specifically includes a percentage rent provision based on gross revenues, and that is critically important to remember. The manager is in the process of a 5-year financial audit of the tenant's management of the country club. This audit should take about 1 month. After numerous conversations with Coral Grand, which included their submittal of a March 2021 proposal, the tenant engaged legal counsel. In June of 2021, the city and the tenant's attorneys reached a settlement agreement to amicably conclude the tenant-landlord relationship effective in April of 2022. The defaults resulted in a settlement agreement between the city and the current operator, which was drafted primarily by the tenant's legal counsel. And I would need everyone to please remember that. And that was very eloquently stated by our city attorney at my Thursday town hall meeting in front of the tenant. Incidentally, the tenant was well represented by Victor Diaz, ESQ of VM Diaz and Partners. Mr. Diaz is a well-respected and highly sought-after attorney in this community. The suggestion that he allowed his clients to be coerced or misrepresented into signing the settlement agreement with the city is incomprehensible and simply not true. I would like to stress that this is a legally binding agreement reached by both parties, an agreement which was negotiated in good faith and in one in which they had top legal representation, as I clearly stated. Additionally, I would like to assure neighbors that whatever path we move forward with, we will protect the special character of the neighborhood. We can't accept any use that would be intrusive, and that as a refurbishment takes place, it will be phased in a way that does not disrupt health club members or events. I want to reiterate, we're not going to step in and completely remodel the facility, taking it offline for a year or two. That is not going to happen. Please stop saying that publicly and scaring people who visit this facility. Number two, I speak for the commission, will not allow for a 500-seat restaurant, a 400-seat restaurant, a 300-seat restaurant. Stop saying that. Stop scaring residents. It's not appropriate. I will not allow for spillage of cars onto the neighborhood. As a person who lives next to University of Miami, and I've mentioned it before on multiple occasions, where 15 years ago we had major issues with traffic and parking in the neighborhoods, I have faced that. And now we don't have those issues because of the cooperation of the university with our employees, along with our executive team here at the city, to find a solution. I give you my word that we will not allow a massive intrusion of the neighborhood. You cannot build a parking garage on that structure, and we will not build a parking garage on that structure. Stop telling people that that will also happen. To be able to find a new operator, the city held an RFP process, which was advertised. Unfortunately, we only received one response. The only proposer, Barreto Hospitality, was found to be non-responsive by our procurement division, and the RFP was canceled. Coral Grand couldn't participate since they cannot be selected as they have failed to perform under the terms of a previous contract with the city. While Coral Grand makes innuendos regarding the one bidder, it is interesting to note that when they were selected more than 10 years ago, and I should note, before anyone on this commission was ever elected, they were the only responsive bidder. Let's memorialize that. They were the only responsive bidder 10 years ago. What is happening now? The manager is looking at all possible alternatives, including having the community recreation department assess what it will take for the city to operate the country club if a suitable tenant is not found by April 2022. And I give you my word again, speaking on behalf of the commission. It will be a family-run facility that will make you incredibly proud. The last thing I need, and the last thing that anyone in this commission needs, is more headaches dealing with residents who are unhappy about something in their own backyard. This is a neighborhood. This is not our downtown. We clearly understand what the community wants, and I promise you we will protect your neighborhood, and it will be a family-run organization where you continue to have ice cream, where you continue to buy pizza, where you continue to enjoy yourselves as a family. But we must do what is correct. We must run a facility that will make you proud. As I have advised residents that have reached out to me, we will not be intimidated by misinformation. We will do what is correct. And this commission has many objectives. One is that we're fiduciaries on behalf of this community and the business community. So understand that as we move forward, we want to work with you. We want to continue to respond to you. We want to continue to listen to the neighbors. But we will do what is correct and what is in the benefit of the city as a whole. Thank you, and I appreciate if any of my colleagues have any comments they'd like to say, they're always welcome.